When you picture State Road 46, the first things that come to mind are massive apartment buildings and gas station parking lots emptying onto a 4-lane highway. This type of roadway is called a Stroad, a suburban fixture with the storefronts and housing of a street, but the high speed and traffic of a road. Reporter Ethan Sandweiss talks to Ellettsville residents about their frustrations and answers their questions about future plans for the Stroad.
Business in Southeast Ellettsville is expanding, and some of those who live and work here feel the growing pains. Just step into a local coffee shop, and it won't take long to hear residents' thoughts about State Road 46.
Yeah, I mean, I am high alert when I travel on 46 because it's a zoo out there. It really is. I mean, they're coming at you from every angle and the center, and it's a mess.
Amy Metter opened the Caffeinated Cook in February 2022. She takes 46 several times a day for work, and that routine drive is nerve-wracking.
I've been pulled out in front of many times because people have to just gun it to get out there because there's no turn lanes or stoplights or anything.
Until it was expanded in 2003, this stretch of highway was just a 2-lane road, as 46 remains on the west side between Ellettsville and Spencer.
State Road 46, the two-way section, is of course, at its time when it was developed, was viable. But over time, luckily, Ellettsville has developed, and with it, the road has not.
There are now enough ins and outs that you can be making a left turn, somebody's making a right turn. There's nothing to keep the two of you from hitting head on if you're not paying attention.
Business has been expanding on that road, with restaurants and apartment buildings popping up in the past few years. Growth is good for business, but it has led to more turnoffs and exits. Particularly concerning to some residents is a new 168-unit apartment complex off Smith Pike called 46 Flats. Residents working in Bloomington must exit right onto State Road 46, driving into Ellettsville first. So I'm driving back to Bloomington now, but I have to turn right here, which is actually going westwards into Ellettsville. That's one of the complaints I've heard about this place, is that a bunch of people here are going to live in Bloomington, but they're going to have to drive into downtown Ellettsville before turning around. State transportation data shows traffic can be a problem here, especially from 7 to 9 in the morning and 4 to 6 in the evening. The city of Ellettsville hopes to channel development in a more pedestrian and traffic-friendly direction. Its strategic plan, Envision Ellettsville, lays out what it calls a context-sensitive growth plan. That would include roundabouts, traffic lights, and crosswalks. But State Road 46 is just that, a state road. That means changes like roundabouts and traffic lights would have to go through the Indiana Department of Transportation.
INDOT would have to first do some studies on the area to make sure that it's appropriate for those things to be in place there. Many drivers feel unsafe on 46, but is it unsafe? Ellettsville Police Chief Jimmy Durnall doesn't think so.
There's been many houses obviously built around the area there, but we're expanding. I don't think we've compromised our safety at all.
INDOT agrees. A spokesperson says no intersections in the stretch of 46 between Hart Strait Road and Curry Pike showed up as what the agency defines as elevated crash locations.
We do try to implement safety measures in areas where we see a high number of pedestrians, as well as traffic going through the area.
Patience is wearing thin for some, but town manager Mike Farmer feels comfortable with the implementation process and says INDOT has been cooperative and communicative with the city.
The problems that we had in the 90s were solved by INDOT, and we've really kind of lived pretty good life. And not only that, but they improved the aesthetics dramatically when they went through town. So we'll probably go through that same process again as we grow.
INDOT, police, and city officials agree that traffic is increasing, but not yet to the extent that State Road 46 has become dangerous.
You're asking me how we're going to solve our problems, and I'm saying we're going to plan for them. And we recognize that if we don't plan and improve our secondary roads, then we will have problems.
The city says there's no timeline for implementing Ellettsville's 46 corridor development plans. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.